Whiskers just flipped 4,000 miles, so it's time to do some maintenance. I'm going to be doing it myself, and since I don't have a proper garage, I'm going to be doing it in the monkey shack.
I'll also be chiming in with this after-the-fact motovlog style director's cut.
So the first thing I'm going to do is gather up all my parts and my tools. I ordered the parts last week, and they should be here today. The tools are in the shed. The next step, clear a space to work. So I bought a service manual, and that's loaded up over on my laptop.
Now the next time I hope to have a physical service manual. The PDF is nice for portability and taking it with you when you're on a part run, but trying to use a PDF with the clunky scrolling and greasy fingers, not so good.
Some of the parts have started to arrive, so I'm going to start with what I have to work with today. First thing I got is the gasket for the valve cover.
I needed 2 of these and somehow only bought 1.
A spark plug, these feeler gauges. There is a tool that I need to hold the tappet in place, but what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to make my own tappet tool using the spoon that I got from the Goodwill, and I'm going to cut a notch out of here.
Took a couple trips back to the Dremel tool, but eventually I got it to fit snug. You don't want to unscrew the fuel sender, otherwise you're going to get gas everywhere. You just want to disconnect the coupler.
I used a piece of wood to prop up the tank rather than fully disconnect it and remove it. I had read online that putting the tank back on and reconnecting the various hoses can be a real pain in the Now when you're taking the valve covers off, you got to make sure that you're paying attention to which screws are coming out of which holes on which covers. That way when it's time to put them back together, you're getting it right and you're not screwing it up. Once you get that left crank cover off, what you want to do is rotate the motor counterclockwise and line up the top dead center mark with the little arrow that's on the case. You need to do this while it's on the compression stroke and the exhaust valve is on its way down. With the spark plug out, you can feel air coming up out of the spark plug hole, and with a flashlight you can look in there and see the piston at top dead center. Now there's not a whole lot of room to get that feeler gauge in there, so I ended up bending the edge of my feeler gauge. And here's an online illustration to show you what the Tappet tool actually looks like that I'm going to be using my spoon for instead. The exhaust valves were in spec, so I didn't mess with them at all. This is where things started to go south. First, I forgot to put the spark plug cables on the spark plug so it wouldn't start. Once I got that figured out, I took it outside to go for a ride. As you can hear, there's a lot of clatter coming from that top end. The valves were making all kinds of noise and it just didn't sound right. So I took it back in and tore it all apart, and it turns out because numbers are my kryptonite, I had gotten the metric and the imperial measurement system up and set the valves to the wrong size. So I had to go back down, get another set of feeler gauges that with the right size. Meanwhile, I figured I'd mess with the cam chain and ended up stripping the screw on that, so I had to order another part. So I ended up having the bike not running for about a week while I waited for the parts to come. The good news is, Whiskers is running perfectly fine right now and humming like a little pink-bellied dog getting his tummy tickled. Hey, if you like my motovlogs and my mechanical mishaps, be sure to mash that subscribe button and go ahead and like this video. I'll see you next time. Aloha!